Hey everyone, welcome to the FreedomFest Cash Vault website. My name is Tom Matzen. I'm one of the producers of the FreedomFest Cash Vault. And this is Brian June. Thanks to the power of Zoom, we are communicating myself on a small island near Vancouver, and Brian's in North Carolina. Hello, Brian. How are you doing today?
Hi, Tom. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm excited. I'm excited to share this for a couple of reasons. The people watching this are probably on our website. They're considering signing up for the FreedomFest Cash Vault competition, their chance to pitch the billionaires and put 50,000 cash in their pocket. And they're watching this video more than likely because they're like, well, first off, who are the guys behind this? And why are they doing it? And should I sign up? So, Brian, you created this concept and then recruited me to partner up with you on this. What would you say to that person, he or she listening at this point in the decision-making process?
Well, first I would just say briefly that it's my passion, and I know it is yours too, Tom. I know your passion is to drastically reduce the failure rate of startup businesses, and it's my passion to help as many people move into entrepreneurship and take control of their own lives as possible. You simply can't do that working for someone else. I mean, it's virtually impossible. So there's a big, deep-rooted why in both of us on that. With respect to why a person should actually go ahead, there are a few thoughts on this, but number one is if you have an idea for a business right now, if you have a concept right now, or even if you already own a small business that just hasn't been able to get the traction that it needs to get, then you seriously need to take a look at getting involved in this, and I'll tell you why. First, forget about the competition. Forget about the 50 grand. Forget about all of that. And think about this. Just by entering, you are going to be exposed to top tier people all the way up to and including people running billion-dollar empires. And so you will be exposed to them, and you never would in any other venue. You simply wouldn't get the chance. Then you're going to have all of these tools that myself, that you, that our partners and our sponsors bring to the table. These are people who have decades, years and years of experience in helping you, the person watching this video right now, move from wherever you are today into full-blown entrepreneurship with all of its glory, and I have to say too, some of its pain.
Absolutely. In fact, that's actually one of the most fascinating things, Brian, that I've started 47 businesses of my own, and as I say in my bio, some spectacular successes, some spectacular failures, and most somewhere in between. And frankly, the biggest lesson through that entire journey is that it's not a static line, right? No. It's up and down and up and down. And I used to, as I got more experienced, I realized it wasn't about eliminating the valleys. It was simply about making the valleys shorter, turning them around quicker, bouncing back faster. And I think that's one of the biggest advantages that the people that participate in the Cash Vault, the FreedomFest Cash Vault, will get is, yes, they're going to get access to some significant capital and some significant contacts with the billionaires and the people that run billion-dollar companies, but they're also going to get access to all the resources and ideas. And in fact, our mission is to bring you the best of the best ideas to help shorten that journey to success.
Right. And so you're right, Tom. I mean, I would tell people right now that resilience is not often talked about when it comes to being a startup or when it comes to being an entrepreneur. But for my money, resilience is the most undersold and undervalued quality that a person could learn. And I say learn. People aren't necessarily born with resilience. You learn resilience as you go through those valleys and troughs that you talked about, and then you come out on the other side. But let's turn the tape. Now, let's not forget. So we're talking about that, but let's not forget something, and this is not a widely known fact. I'm an angel investor, and I'm a venture capitalist, and I've done this for a very long time. The thing that most people don't know, most people don't watching this probably don't know, is the average angel investment. It's not millions of dollars or even $100,000 or even $50,000. Do you realize, Tom, and do you realize watching the video out there that the average angel investment is only $20,000 to $25,000? So by having a $50,000 grand prize, you could actually come away with double the funding of a single angel investor that you might expect from him putting in your venture or her putting in your venture. People don't realize that. They think it's all these millions of dollars. No, it's built piece by piece, Tom.
Well, and I know for the last several projects that I've raised capital for, which totals about $16 million, I think the largest check ever was $200,000 from one guy. And then there was like maybe 100 and 250s. All the rest were 25 and under. All the rest. And that's millions and millions of dollars on multiple projects. So that's been my experience as well, raising the capital, is that's the way you do it. And also, frankly, if you're an investor watching this and you're thinking of supporting the journey of these new entrepreneurs, you don't want to put $250,000 or $500,000 or $1 million on a speculative idea in its early stage. That would be foolish. That would actually be a really bad capital allocation strategy. And if I was a financial planner, I'd coach you against that, even if it was my own project. So for those of you looking out there to raise capital, listen to what Brian is saying. Not only has he helped people raise millions and millions of dollars, he's also developed several of his own projects that he successfully exited from. And that's a really good point. And in fact, if you work through this competition and you get to be one of the 250 quarterfinalists, part of what Brian's going to do, we're going to interview Brian, and he's going to share all of his insights about raising capital from the perspective of the check writer. A lot of people will coach raising capital, guys like me that have raised capital in the perspective of asking for money. And there's nothing wrong with learning from a guy who's asked for money. But I'm not the guy writing the checks. Brian's the guy writing the checks. And so if you want to learn how to get checks in your hand, you want to study from a guy like Brian. So for everyone who enters our competition, if you make the first cut and become one of the 250 quarterfinalists, you're going to get access to Brian's entire new program that we're going to create on how to raise we haven't titled it yet, but it's basically how to fund the business of your dreams, isn't it, Brian?
Right. Exactly. That's right.
And just to give the people watching a bit of a taste, what are one or two of the most common myths that you think when people are trying to raise money, they just don't get?
Well, probably the biggest one is that when you're invited in to speak with them, that you're there because they want to invest in you. That's totally and completely wrong. Totally and completely wrong.
You don't love us?
Probably the biggest misconception. So I talk to a lot of young or inexperienced entrepreneurs that'll call me and they'll say, hey, you know what? I just got a meeting with XYZ Capital and they want me to come and pitch them. That is fantastic. This is going to be so great. This is so good. And I go, well, that's good. Are you prepared for the rejection that is most likely to come? And what? What do you mean? They're not there. They are not there and having you there so that they can accept your deal. Their number one criteria, what you've done in that case, let me give you here's the insider's tip. What you've done is you've obviously done something right to pique their interest or you wouldn't get in the door in the first place. So there's something about your offer that they liked because the easiest thing to do is to not let you in the door. But here's the deal. There's hundreds and hundreds that are getting in the door. So the first thing they're trying to do is not find out why they should accept you. They're trying to find out why they should reject you right away. That's the biggest thing. I think I'll leave it at that. I mean, there are other tips I could give, but that's it. It's a rejection committee, not a selection committee.
And that's a I can tell you, as a guy that's raised check after check after check over the years and helped other entrepreneurs. I've coached over 200 people to start their own business. About 198 of them didn't have the money they needed to start it, and it's amazing how much more helpful that would have been in the early days of me doing that, because it took me a while to learn that, but I only learned it from trial and error. When people would reject me, I was like, wait a second, what's going on? And then I'd reflect on it. It's like, oh, yeah, they weren't looking to accept it. They were looking for reasons to say no. I gave them a reason to say no. They said no. Totally logical. So great insights. And that's just a small piece of what you can learn if you decide to join us and enter the competition at FreedomFest Cash Vault. Last thing for today, Brian, what would you say to someone that is sitting back there going, I don't know if I should risk $100. I don't know if this is right for me. What would you say to them? Straight up.
If that's their attitude, don't spend the $100. That's what I'd tell them.
Right
if
on.
that's their attitude. If their attitude is, oh, I don't know, it's $100, go away. Honestly, go away. And I know that sounds, that can sound a little arrogant on my part, maybe like a little smart aleck there, but no, that's the truth. If you don't believe enough in yourself and in your idea and your concept to invest $100, you don't deserve to win, honestly.
Yeah.
It's that simple, Tom. And I'm sorry to deliver the news in that way, but it's fact.
Well, we're on the same page. I know that, because the reality is entrepreneurship is about taking risks. And if you're ready to take that risk, step up and join us in the competition. If you're a potential investor, share this with other people that are starting businesses that you know or new ideas. And we'll hope to see you at Freedom Fest in Las Vegas this July, Planet Hollywood. Can't wait. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.